fans of yours to hear you in that wide open space. We know you love to create that really driving experience with Muse, and you're really in a fun place with Jaded Hearts. But just to hear you just kind of like move within a song structure and within an environment that feels very personal, because it's only you really that has to decide when you sing, when you don't sing, and it feels like like I said, a wide open arrangement, this song.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I've never really sort of seriously thought about doing much work outside of Muse, because I love Muse so much and we have such a great time together, make music together and all that. But if I was to do a song on my own, I mean, during lockdown, I mean, we all sort of try and find ways to keep ourselves occupied. So, for me, just writing a song on the piano and doing a sort of my filmic thing, which I love. I love film music, as you know, and just trying to think of a kind of lyrical or a feeling that kind of captures what I'm feeling during this time, which is kind of reconnecting with the simpler things in life, and looking for trying to find a kind of optimism and hope for what the future could be, So I wanted to try and create a song during this time that captured that, and also, a song that I can always look back on and go, I remember this song will always remind me of that moment in my life, because for me, songs always have, especially being a songwriter, they always have such strong connections to certain points in my life, So I really wanted to make sure I wrote a song during this time, or made a song during this time that kind of will always make me remember this time, And
it's a really interesting challenge that you applied, because not everyone has come out and done that yet. There's been quite a few big songs that were written beforehand that have been reappropriated to include elements, but people are very quick to say, wow, we started this before quarantine. We started this before the pandemic really kicked in. Yeah. It's almost like it was too soon for people to feel comfortable saying, no, I wrote this in direct relation to what I'm feeling over the last 2 months. And yet you've come out and decided to do that. And I wondered, were you faced, even as a creative on your own, putting this together, challenges about what you felt was the right tone or the wrong tone, because you don't really have a roadmap for this yet?
With Muse, I've done a lot, as you know, I've done a lot of songs dealing with kind of apocalyptic visions and sort of post-apocalyptic kind of ideas and stuff. So a lot of Muse music and a lot of my music has come from a place of deep anxiety or worry, and then in that I sometimes find this kind of bizarre optimism, which is unusual, which that's what I found through delving through my inner psyche through songs like Apocalypse Please and all this kind of stuff, and Take a Bow, and all these songs that are quite, like end of the world sounding. And then, but what I've also noticed, I write songs like Invincible, and songs like this that I've just written, where somewhere in the murky waters of anxiety and worry, there is this deep rooted sort of optimism and hope, and so I think that to me was the right tone. I mean, obviously me being me, I could have easily written another totally doomsday end of the world type song. Do you know what I mean? And I'll probably save that for the next Muse album. I don't think it is the right time for that song right now.
Well, it's funny, because Muse fans will sit there and listen to this song and they will still recognize elements of what makes Muse special. You've always had an ability within the band to cover a lot of different ground, and I wondered if it ever just crossed your mind to kind of bring the boys in or not. I mean, if you write a song and you compose a song and release a song, it's still from the essence of what makes Muse, and that often happens with artists, where you can put it under the band's name, it's no big deal, And I wondered why, if there was a really conscious decision, what the conscious decision was to put it under your own name, which you've done once before in a soundtrack environment. That's different, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's an intimate, personal song, and I just recorded it on my own. Do you know what I mean? And everything about the song is kind of, when I say lonely, I don't mean lonely in the negative sense. I mean, it's me alone, intimate, personal. So it just kind of made sense, really, to sort of present it that way. And but yeah, I mean, Muse is, we're great. We're in touch all the time. Chris has just had a baby. He's had a baby a few weeks ago.
How many has he got now? I don't mean to be weird.
He's up to 9.
See, I knew when I stepped off that ledge and was like, how many has he got now, that the answer would qualify that weird question, because 9 is a lot of kids.
Technically, he's 2 away from a football team. That's it. So, a soccer team, as you would say over here. So he's getting close. But the guy's been great. And, I mean, we're in touch, and I'd love to try and find a way that we can actually play together. I've been looking into, Rich Costy sent me some link, you might know about it, like some new technology where you can try and sort of play together, because a lot of people see these Zoom band performances, but obviously that stuff is kind of put together. Do you know what I mean? You can't actually play truly live with musicians around the world, because just the synchronization of it is so hard. But there is new technology that could make that happen. So I'd love to get together with the guys and play together somehow.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is going to be, necessity is the mother of all invention, and I think that there is a definite necessity for that to be invented right now.
Totally. Yeah, and I think it's possible. Muse will do a new song at some point this year. I mean, I've written a few things which are more suited for Muse. You know what I mean? So maybe I'll hit those guys up and we'll try and get something going. But the cool thing with Muse is this summer we've got this film coming out. This film that we started making it. We actually filmed it at two O2 London shows in London in September last year. And so it's got elements of live show, but it's also got elements of all the kind of visuals of the last album, kind of the sort of 80s aesthetic kind of fantasy stuff. So it's kind of like our version of The Wall or something. And I have to emphasize. My manager told me I have to emphasize that the film was partly made before what's going on, because obviously we didn't know it, but it has this whole thing about a virus and blah blah blah, but we didn't know that when we didn't know that when we made the film. So but it'll be interesting because it's kind of it's very much in a fictional world. It's kind of like a bit of fun, but I'm hoping that's going to come out in June or July. It's definitely the best kind of film we've made, and it kind of has we were going to put it in theaters, but we can't do that now, so we're going to probably just get it on Apple iTunes or whatever.